Hello learner, my name is Balam Dafauti and I am working as Assistant Professor in Department of Computer Science, Uttarakhand Open University, Haldwani. So today we will discuss about an array and the types of array and array copy method. So after going through this video lecture, the learner will able to learn about an array, about the types of array and about array copy method. So learner, whenever you are going to design a software, basically you are storing the data. So when you are storing the data, there might be a use cases. So we need to store lot of data all together in a single container, right? So for example, you need to store population of a country as in some states. So there are, let's say, n number of states for which we have a population count. So you see there will be approximately the data which would be in lots of values. So we will have more than one value associated to the container called population for the country. So we can have an array for every element. In an array, we can mention the population count for one of the states, right? So begin with an array. So basically an array is a data structure to hold more than one values. So it is going to be a multi-value container for us. So it can contain homogeneous elements. So we can say it's a limitation or it's a plus point, right? So it maintains the type safety check. So we cannot store different types of data in the same array. So it has to be same type. So if you are going to create an array for integers, it must be only integer. Now all elements, they are stored under one single variable name. So we have a reference variable which will be pointing to the array. Now the data stored in an array is a contiguous memory location. So there are various different types by which we can represent the data in array. So we can represent the data as a single dimension array or 1D array, which is storing the element as in a row. So just consider it as a row. In a continuous row, we are storing the elements. So that is how we started, right? So in a use case to store country's population, so this element can store one state population count. The next element can store the other state population count and so on. Now two-dimensional array or 2D array is a array of arrays, right? So it's a collection of collection. Now so here what we are understanding two-dimensional array, that is going to hold population for the world. Let's say the first array will store the population of Indian states and the second array can hold the population for some other countries of different states. So if you have more than these kinds of problem where you can have a data coming in the form of, let's say you want to process image and you want to rotate an image and you want to process image on some colors. So here we just do not have a two-dimensional array, right? Or we just don't have array of arrays. So we got multidimensional array. So in that regard, we got this multidimensional array where a lot of data can be stored. So typically when you are going to come up with the image processing problem, so you will be working in multidimensional array of multidimensional arrays, one of the use cases. Now let's see how we can work with arrays. So learner, how we can create a one-dimensional array. So creating one-dimensional array is very basic. So you give a reference variable name and you mention the data type with the new operator with the size, and you will be able to get your array created in the RAM areas. So reference variable with the new integer 5 will give you an array of 5 integer, right? So you need to be having this syntax where you can create an array. Now when you create an array, it will be indexed on the basis of size. Let's say the size is 5, so there will be 4 indexes 0 to n minus 1. So it going to be 0 to 4 for the size of 5. Now every element in an array is accessible through this index. For example, when you say my array 0 is assigned 10, you are writing the data in the 0th index. So thereafter you say 1 is 20, 2 is 30, 3 is 40 and 4 is 50. So you are actually writing the data into the array. So a basic write operation, and same way when you have the array constructed. So at the time of constructions you can mention the data, right? So the data can be given exactly at the time of constructions. So this time you need not to write the data. By default will have the values coming in for your arrays. So learner, when you want to access any element in an array, so you write down the reference variable name and you mention the index in the square bracket and you will be able to access it. For example, you say my array 1, it's going to access the value 20. So you say my array 4, so 4 is over here is supposed to be the value 50. So when you want to update something, you can just mention the index and you give a new value. So here it goes like my array 4 assigned 100. So you are going to replace your array 4 as 100. Now move to the next part. So the next part is working with two-dimensional array, right? So learner, we call them array of arrays, right? So here we can mention the row and column. So row column here does not literally means a matrix concept. So row column over here means that how many number of one-dimensional array you want. So the first element means how many one-dimensional array, and the second means how many elements in one-dimensional array, right? So it's a basically array of arrays. We can represent a matrix using two-dimensional array. So this is like zeroth arrays, zeroth element, zeroth arrays, first element. Same way, first element, zeroth. Same way, first array, zeroth element, first array, first element. So if you want to access, you can say 0, 0 is 100. So zeroth array, zeroth element, right? So we put the data. So same way you put the data for the other elements. Now if you want, you can access any element in two-dimensional array by mentioning its indexes, and if you want to update the data, it's again on the basis of indexing, right? So learner, in the next part we are going to discuss the Java array copying using copy array method. So first of all, we will understand what is an array. As we have discussed earlier, so array is a collection of element or values of same data types, or we can say an array is a finite collection of similar element stored in a adjacent memory locations. By finite means there are a specific number of elements in an array, and by similar means all the elements in an array are of the same type. So an array may contain all integer or all character but not both. However, there can be array of structure where each structure may contain an integer and a character. So basically array is an object in Java which contains similar type of data in a contiguous memory locations. So here, so let us understand with the help of example. First we have to create a class which name is demo. Then we have to initialize an array under the main method integer array A. Then assign the element to the array A. Array A is a reference variable which is referred to the index of the array. Suppose we want to access an element 40 of the array, we have to assign the index value 3 to the array A. It will print the element 40 because 40 element is located in the third position in the array. So now I am taking another example. In this example, I can take an integer array A, new int of 5. So 5 is the size of an array, or we can also take integer array A. So array is represented by a square bracket is equal to 11, 22, 33, 44, 55. So set of values. So here are array name is a object reference variable which will be pointing or referring to a collection of values of same data types in the memory. So the array name here is A. It is a object reference variable. So now coming to how to copy element of one array to another array. So basically we can do this using a loop index by index. For example, here I is equal to 0, I is less than a dot length I plus plus. So store all the elements of A. So A of I assigned to B of I. So each and every element of A will assign to B. So this is done manually index by index using a loop. So however, we have a predefined method array copy. So this method belongs to system class using which we can perform array copy mechanism very flexibly with multiple options. So if you see the description of the system class, you just need to type in the command prompt java.lang system, which belongs to java.lang package. So in java.lang package we have array copy method. So it takes 5 input parameter. The first parameter is source object. When source array, here it is array A and then followed by index position of the source. So from which index position in the source array we should start copying, and then followed by the third parameter destination array is an object. We have to pass array B as input parameter and then destination array index position. So from where the destination array index position, the array element need to be copied, and finally length. Length means it is like number of element from source array which is need to be copied into destination array. So let us understand with the help of example. Here I am taking an array A with initialized element 11, 22, 33, 44, 55, 56, 77, 88, 99. So set of element total 9 elements. And I am taking another array B which size is 5. So here I will apply system.static method array copy. So the source array is array A. So from array A, fourth index position, from 55 copy element into destination array B starting from 0th index, and the total number of element 5. So 55, 66, 77, 88, 99 will be copied into array B from 0th index. So come to the for loop for displaying the element of an array. So print copied array element or values. So for I is equal to 0, I is less than b dot length I plus plus. Print b of I. So when you compile and run the program, the output will be copied array element in B array are 55, 66, 77, 88, 99, 0th index to 4th index. Now I am changing the size of array B. So B array int of 9, previously it was only 5 elements. The size if now 9 elements. So System.arraycopy. So first source array is A, start from 0th index. So 0 index is array A is 11. So from 11 copies the element into B, where from 0th index. Total how many elements? 9 elements. So all the 9 elements will be copied into array B, and finally print new copied array values using the for loop. So when you compile and run the program, the output will be 11 to 99, 0th to 8th index, total 9 elements. Next I will take third case, the System.arraycopy from array A, 0th index, copy into array B from 0th index. Only 5 elements, so remaining element will be default values. So default values for the integer array are zeros because array is a object. So print new arrays copied values using the same loop, using the same for loop. So when you compile and run the program, the output of the program 11, 22, 33, 44, 55. So remaining 4 elements are default values for an integer array are 0. So learner, that's it for today. Thank you very much.